Really, really well done, everybody. I'm gonna give you a little time to just maybe even write down your notes if you have your pen and paper before we listen to anyone else. Let's take a couple of minutes for you to just write down bullet points of what you need to remember. I'm going to give you all 5 minutes because it's like a dream. It can fade away. So we want you to record it. I'll share what usually happens and what I've witnessed kind of with some of you. The emotion, the tears coming up, realization, like from a compassionate space of non-judgment and acceptance of the mother's experience, realizing how conditioned she was to by her past experiences, and kind of just resolving that in acceptance. Usually flashes of memories come up and how it was relevant. Oftentimes they're literally like tingling and like the whole body is vibrating with energy. Did any of you have that? And just a sense of peace, centered, connection. Did you all find it helpful? Really good. I see the chat now. Thank you, Helena. I'm going to unmute you now. And just Ellen was saying the strongest message was to be myself. It's huge and it's profound, right? Because so far we are kind of the product of the environment, product of the conditioning of the past. But now when you realize that it's safe to be yourself, now you actually, like, the confusion is gone and you're just at peace and free to be who you came here to be. There's nothing like it. As a result of that, you will suddenly see choices and opportunities in everyday situations that you didn't see before. So it's wonderful. Well done. If you fell asleep, it's a good thing. Usually, if the mind is very analytical, logical, or just kind of in a way of the process, the higher self will actually knock people out for the time being, just for the time being of the healing. The ego is kind of away and everything then goes deeper into the subconscious and unconscious, and the healing occurs. So even though you may have fell asleep, your subconscious and unconscious were full on listening. So it's not a bad thing. And as you re-listen to the recording, you can go through it consciously if you like. Great question. And Anthony also would like to share. So I'm going to first unmute Helena now.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for guiding us. So my mother and I had traumatic birth. She was under very much stress, and she didn't eat during her pregnancy. And I was very malnourished and had to be born about a month earlier than expected. And my family members have described me as a dried up pickle when I was born. So terrible situation. But during the session, I imagined and I saw images of the divine feeding me, so that I imagined this fetus being a plump, healthy baby inside the womb, and that there were guides there, even if my mother wasn't feeding her.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it was beautiful. Thank you.
Well done. That's life-changing. The negative association that will be formed there was that whenever you needed nourishment, it wasn't available. So most likely patterns constantly perceiving that whatever you need is actually not available. So that should shift now, and suddenly just greater peace, and the whole paradigm may shift as a result of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
And then we had Anthony, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So for me, it was during the umbilical cord cleansing that I felt the most. I guess I would say it's more of a physical effects. I had a huge coughing fit, and then all of a sudden, like, there was a lot of tension. I always carry tension in my solar plexus, it comes and goes, but I started to just feel like more relaxed. Even now I feel more relaxed. Like I feel like I can like move around. It just feels so much more plot. Usually it's very stiff, intense. And right now it just feels really like doughy and like comfortable. So that was the first thing. And during the end of the process, when you asked to see like any messages that came up, the first thing that flashed was just this person like in Egypt on a camel, and then someone in the west riding horses. And I started getting these other flashes of different lives, and I realized like the message was just like I've always been like a traveler. I want to enjoy myself and really, expand on, trying all the fruits of the earth out, I guess you could say. And even when I was a kid, when I would play video games, I always said to myself, like, oh, I just want to, like, I wish life was like an adventure. I wish it was like an adventure. And I feel like this was just a reminder from Spirit saying, like, this is an adventure and you've been on one. And, this is just another stop along the way on your adventure. So, like, keep going. So that's what I got out of it. Thank you.
You're free to express that now. You're free to embody this feeling of freedom and adventure. Amazing. Normally, what happens with the coughing, when that happens during the intense healing process, there is a history of thyroid issues where there are patterns in behavior of not feeling safe to express one's truth because the family values are so different to the soul. So, not feeling safe to express. But also, if it's really like coughing, it sometimes also would speak of few generations back of possible physical abuse and worse. So that sometimes comes like that, especially if there is maybe almost like a vomiting instinct with that cough. But perhaps just feeling blocked in expressing truth, your true state of being is now being cleared, and you'll feel more free and more at peace with just being you and following your heart and that sense of adventure.
Thank you.
Cool. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Thanks, Anthony. Carmen would like to also share. Please feel free to unmute yourself now, Carmen, if you could.
Thank you very much. Actually, it was a very unusual situation for me because I was very excited to join this healing session, and I don't know how I managed to come too late to it. Maybe the confusion about time zones, I don't know. But I was like dropping into the middle of the meditation, and I was like completely confused with what I'm doing here, what is going on. Oh, I'm too late. Oh my gosh, in this sense. And my ego started to, spin like crazy. And I needed a bit of breaking through the layers of my ego, and then it started to relax. And what I heard was, no matter into which situations you are being thrown, you will get all the informations you need to get the best out of the situations you are in. Because very often I feel that I'm coming like unprepared into a really chaotic situation, and I think, oh my God, how am I going to manage this whole thing? I have no information available from this, from this conscious mind. But then I just relaxed into the situation, and I could feel actually my higher self taking over and just doing whatever was necessary, even if I missed almost half of the whole session, which I'm a little bit, honestly, I'm a little bit, how to say, sad about it.
You actually came at the beginning, just not the explanation, but you actually came at the start when you started the guiding. Yeah.
You see, it was actually divine, because what I needed was exactly this.
Yes, I'm actually emotional as you say this. Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah, if I, no matter in which situation I am thrown into, even if it looks really chaotic and I cannot manage it, I have the tools to manage it. And once I actually relaxed into it, everything just, the pillar was there. I felt huge expansion, and I just became me.
Well
so valuable. Yeah,
very relevant manifestation of the experience that so many of us go through. So yeah, that's epic. Thank you. Well done. And there will be a recording sent. You can go through this from the very beginning, so you didn't miss anything. It was exactly what you needed, I'm sure. Beautiful. Anyone else would like to share? I feel this is such a wonderful space, and it's just so nice to be with like-minded people. If anyone else feels like it, there's time, there's space. If anyone needs to leave, feel free to leave earlier. But if any of you also would like to just chat about your experience, you're welcome to let me know. It's just nice to be together. Kelly, thank you so much. Go ahead, Kelly, if you can unmute yourself.
All right. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes.
I just feel really good, actually. It was just quite a contrast to the anticipation of the meeting. There was a lot of trepidation, and even I was a little sick to my stomach as well. Anticipating, because I know my mother's pregnancy, I'm sure she was not in any good frame of mind at all. We had a very abusive and violent father. And also, my next oldest sibling is probably almost 10 years older than me, so I don't think my conception was planned by them. I should hope it was divine. But and then also, when you mentioned to consider my mother's mother, which had never entered my mind that would be a factor as well, and that made me feel like, oh boy, from bad to worse, because her mother had a lot of issues as well, and my mother was born in 1932, which was the height of the Great Depression in the United States. So I'm sure there was a lot of scarcity issues there. I'm not a very visual person, so trying to visualize is always a challenge for me. There's always a feeling that I'm not quite doing something right, but still, some came through, some colors came through, especially, but for me, it's more feeling than it is visual. And near the end, when you said anything coming in from the higher self as far as moving forward from now, to say as a focus, and I actually did get something. I had to visualize writing, or specifically, the word was kind of scribing actually, but writing on paper, and I visualized a kind of old-fashioned fountain pen, which I've always liked writing with. So that may be something specifically for me that came through. I was glad something came through, because I don't want to feel like something I'm forcing. My ego is forcing something to come through as a message. I'm always kind of wary of that being an influence. I didn't feel that this time, anyways. But I just feel really good compared to the fear I felt beforehand.
Really well done. I'm so glad. And did you feel the shift, especially did the realization sink in of what you need now is available to you, and that peace and safety are available to you, because it's such a contrast to what your mother and grandmother were going through. Did words of peace and safety kind of started sinking in?
Yes, very much so. It was more forceful than sinking, I would say. More like a really strong flow. I felt flow. Flow was a sensation.
Brilliant.
When you mentioned visualizing the bad qualities leaving the placenta, the umbilical cord, our baby's body, basically. What I visualized, what came through for me was sort of an ancient purification ritual of sitting underneath a waterfall.
Excellent.
And I sort of sense of water, the force of water coming down and washing through. So that's so maybe stronger than flow. That's good, strong, vibrant, vital flow coming through. So that's how it felt to me.
Very good. I would translate that as divine feminine force came through, because water is feminine. And with the writing message, I would say, Kelly, for you is to really just write and write and write all day, even as a journaling almost at first, and then something else, because you have that scribe writer element. I remember from your session, like it's there, but it's just in this life environment, you don't really, so far, you didn't really have the audience to listen and meet you where you are. So with writing, I believe the higher self messages, you will feel like you are actually acknowledging your truth. You are seeing it, you're expressing it, and it feels safe to do it. I feel it's going to be very healing for you to do that, just get in a habit of writing, and whatever will be coming true. And I think as you will clear several layers of what needs to be expressed and acknowledged as your truth, something really beautiful will be coming through. So definitely something to look forward to, I would say. Do follow through with that. Enjoy it and keep me posted.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I love you guys so much. This is so nice. Ellen said her mother is the same age, born 1932. iPhone, I'm not sure who the name is. My aha message to myself was, I don't need to wait or crave for love coming from others, my family, or from a special person whom I have not yet met, because my own love from within is most important for me to focus on. It's always within me, in the present, past, and the future. My parents did love me a lot. I'm using Bluetooth speaker and cannot charge the change to speak with audio now, so that's why I missed the message. I didn't feel closer to any particular color. What I saw was sparkles of silver and gold coming through the umbilical cord and into the baby's body, fluid and placenta. To me, silver represents the feminine and gold, the masculine, divine energies. So, but what a deep and powerful realization, totally relevant for all of us. Thank you so much for sharing that. Isabel, the colors I saw in the liquid and the placenta were pink, gold, and white. Awesome. Your higher self decides with its divine intelligence what color frequency is the best for you at any given time. And it's possible that in future time, when you will do this session, different colors will come through, just depending what you need to access, to balance. Really good. Okay, I think that's everyone, right? If anyone else wanted to share, feel free to unmute yourself in case I missed a message. If not, we're gonna close with deep gratitude, much love. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll work on this recording. I'll edit it nicely with some nice visuals as well. I would like it to be a really valuable resource for you to use going forward. I suggest you do this around the Cancer moon, either full moon or new moon or whenever moon is passing through Cancer sign, because that's really the best time for doing the womb healing. You can go to AstroSeek website and look at the moon calendar, and you will see what star sign it is and what's the best part of the body to heal. Drink more water, because it's possible that your body will actually start releasing toxins from the tissue, because now it's no longer relevant. It feels safe to release stuff. So honor and support your body's needs in the integration process. It's very important. Ideally, no alcohol for the next 24 hours at least. But definitely more water, lighter foods, go to bed earlier if you can, spend more time in nature over the next few days, and just really reflect on what you experienced today and keep shining. Okay, I just want to address Carmen there. Is it trauma release shaking? Do you want to unmute yourself a little bit? Oh, but
No, I think it's not trauma release. But it's definitely releasing something. I would say it's this, ego control, having control over my body, and I'm releasing the control mechanisms of my mind and actually letting more of my higher self in. This is the feeling that I have. I mean, I enjoy it, the shaking.
Thank you so much. It's so important. I'm so glad you brought it up. If any of you feel that kind of sensation, either this time or at any other future healing, what you need to do to help your body to actually release it is get up and start just, shaking and dancing. And it's literally what, the animals, normally they would do that. They would shake off whatever they just experienced. So this is what the natural body's reaction is. So you can help it by doing that, just crazy dance and tapping, and then just breath and releasing. So it's a good thing. Or yawning or crying and vomiting would be the last one, or even diarrhea, or just actually getting like cold flu symptoms over the next couple of days. If that's happened, it's a good thing. It's something is clearing, so you'll feel much better after that. So just honor your body. We're all different. It could take up to 7 days. You could even have like sudden emotional reaction out of a blue. I want you to think about that reaction like a tooth that is being pulled out and you see it on the way out. It's just something is being released. If you go into that kind of state, just do your best to take deep, long breaths 3 to 10 long breaths to let your body know that right now you're safe, everything is okay. This is just something from the past being released, and be like, thank you, body, for knowing what to do here and just releasing old stuff. It's so good that it's now gone, done. So trust your body. Your body is very intelligent. It knows what to do with what we experience here today. And you can re-listen several times. Don't do it, a few days in a row, because you could go into a healing crisis. So I would take 40 days after today, and after 40 days you do it again. The body takes its time, so honor that. And observe the shift of your paradigm, seeing different choices and opportunities that you didn't see before. Reflect on, just become more aware of who you are, who you came here to be, and that you're exactly where you need to be. Much love, everyone. Take care.